All right, Lee Teat, quarterfinal action, my friend. It's finally here. We made it. We made it through the hardest part of the COVID. I just did a Facebook Live with you, and we said on that Facebook Live, the pretenders are gone, Lee. The contenders move on. So you and I, we're going to try to determine who the contenders are tonight as we pick all the games.
Man,
Uh,
there's so many good ones. I had a lot of tough time this week.
I did too,
It's a
Lee.
good matchup everywhere tonight.
It is. Every classification's
Yep.
got some tough games to pick. So let's get right into it, man.
Let's
We
roll
got
with
we
it.
got a full show tonight.
Got a
We're gonna
full
pick
house watching.
a full house watching. That's a good thing. That's always a good thing. It's probably that Lee Teat sex appeal
Oh, I
coming
don't
out there, I
know about
guess.
all that.
So you saying there ain't many female watchers?
Yeah, thank God.
All right, Lee. Let's get started over in Class 1A, first round matchup. Or excuse me, third round matchup.
Yeah.
Cofield, Lee sitting at 11-0, takes on Oliver Springs 7-5. Lee, this is a repeat. I think Cofield won the first matchup 14-7.
Sure did.
Oliver Springs playing really good. I think they won seven of the last eight.
That's correct. And Cofield got over that greenback hump last week.
Yeah, yeah.
Coach Henry's had struggled with them as of late.
Yep.
Got over that hump last week. I think they're playing really well. That win kind of solidified their legitimacy to me.
Yep.
But like you said, the Bobcats have won 7 of their last 8. I think it's going to be a really good game, but I like Cofield.
Like Cofield.
Yes,
I think Seth Lowe, he had a big game last week. Lee, that 6'1", 210-pound running back. I think he's got to have a big game again this week.
Right.
Stockton, Hill, Nation, all good players for that Bobcat squad. I'm going to go with you, Mr. Teat. I think Cofield wins this one, but very close. A turnover here and there, and this one could go the other way.
That's right.
Moving on down into Quad 2, Lee, you got South Pittsburg, the Mighty Pirates, headed over to Gordonsville, a game Lee Teat possibly may be traveling to.
I'm probably going to try to go catch this game. It's the 16th meeting between those two teams in the playoffs.
Wow.
South Pitt's up 10-5 in head-to-head competition in the playoffs. And we talked about this on the Facebook feed.
Yeah.
Gordonsville lost to Trousdale and Watertown. That was their two of their losses this year. Well, we both know that Trousdale and Watertown are playing tomorrow night in 2A quarterfinals. I mean, that's two solid squads, and they played them tight.
Played them tight.
I like South Pittsburg in the game. I do. I think South Pittsburg got too much talent across the board, but I would not be surprised if this game is a little bit closer than most expect.
South Pitt beat Monterey 43-14. When Gordonsville played Monterey, it was a 20-13 game.
That's
if
correct.
we're comparing common opponents here, obviously South Pitt much stronger. I thought South Pitt would walk in this game, Lee, 21-28 points, but I mean, you made a good argument. I didn't take into account that they did get some stiff competition and played Trousdale County and Watertown close. But I still like South Pitt in this one on the road. I'm thinking, you got Braden Sanders. You got two.
Yeah.
You got two Mr. Football candidates, finalists in this game: Hunter Frame and Jared Stone. Of course, Braden Sanders having DeAndre Kelly. Well, I could go on and on.
That's right.
I mean, South Pitt's
Yeah.
eat up with talent.
South Pitt's definitely the more talented team.
Yeah.
I think Gordonsville's going to try to pound it out, keep the low score.
Control the clock.
And if they can get a turnover in the first half, turnover in the second half, I think they can keep
Close.
this a little bit closer than most expect.
That's what, if you're Scott Clemens, you want to be in it in the fourth quarter.
That's right.
Have
At
a
home.
shot.
At home.
Have a shot. Yeah.
At home.
Yeah.
I like South Pitt though.
I like South Pitt. I think South Pitt. We talked about this earlier, Lee. They haven't really been challenged this year. Only really tough game they had was Mays County, and that was after a 2 or 3 week layoff,
Right.
and it kind of took them a half of football to get woke up. But I think they are playing good football now. I like them by 20 in this
Right.
one. To be honest with you. Fayetteville, check her picks, Lee. I don't have my glasses on, man. Is everybody going with us on these?
Oh yeah.
What we got? Who's in the house over here picking?
South Towner, Darnell, Big Daddy Dave, Jaquil Holman, Lawn Man,
All of
Dustin
our
West.
all of our usual candidates.
Yeah.
They all going SP.
Yep.
That's what I figured.
Big Daddy Dave's right. He said if Gordy gets behind early, though, it's over.
Yeah, I agree too.
Yeah.
They got to keep
They
it. They
gotta
got to
keep
be
it
in the
tight.
game in the second half. If not, it's going to get real ugly. Probably quick clock.
I think so.
Quad 3, Lee, this is a game I'm planning on attending. Fayetteville High School hosting Moore County.
Another great matchup.
28-22 last game. Moore County fell. But Kyler Parker, Mr. Football candidate Lee, he's having a season that Moore County hasn't seen in a long time. 2,000 passing. He's approaching 2,000 passing yards. He's approaching 1,000 rushing yards. He's got a lot of great players around him. The White, Coach White's two kids are big contributors on this team. Smith at running back, got a lot of weapons. And then the flip side of that ball, K.J. Jackson, Lee, freshman, 1,257 yards, 12 TDs for Fayetteville. We had Kenny Morrison on with us.
That's right.
Coach Morrison, put me on the media list tomorrow night there, friend, please. I'm gonna come down there and check this game out. What's your thoughts on this game, Lee?
Oh, Mike, I like Moore County. The one thing that I like about Parker is, he's got a lot of yards in passing and rushing, but I like the fact that the kid scores. He's got 36 touchdowns.
Yeah.
He's a scorer. You got to score to win.
That's right.
And he knows how to get that ball in the end zone. I like that.
22 passing TDs, 14
That's
rushes. Yeah, he does it all, man.
Yeah.
He's a talent, no doubt.
I like Moore County to get a little revenge in this game, but I think it's still going to be like a 28-22 score, but it may be flipped.
Fayetteville beat Huntland 27-10 last week. The score really impressed me out of all scores last week. I think Lee was a 42-22 20-point win over Huntington. Moore County put on them on the road. I can't pick against Moore County right now the way they're playing.
Yeah, they're playing lights out, and that Huntington win, like you said, that solidified it for me.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Lee, the last game in 1A Quad 4, Lake County. Our Twitter followers at Tennessee Sports on Twitter, 77% of them like Lake County to win this rematch. 46-38, Lake County won the first meeting between these two teams. Jamarius Williams for Lake County going up against Jake Barrow and Devin Rader, Dylan Cox. This West Carroll team was real high on a preseason. They struggled with Greenfield, Lee. They beat them by 19 2 weeks ago, and they only beat them by 2 last week. So that's kind of thrown up some red flags for me.
Well, it's hard to beat the same team twice.
Yeah,
it is hard to do that. I didn't see a 19-point or a 17-point swing.
Yeah.
I like Lake County, though, and hey, shout out to Coach Quinn, man. His first year down there, and he's put together a 6-1 season so far.
Coming in behind Coach Puckett, he's doing a great job.
So I'm gonna go with the Lake County Falcons.
I think I'm gonna go with them too, Lee. I was all jazzed up, man.
Southtowner says put them on upset alert.
Yeah, I'm with you, Southtowner. I struggle with it. Matter of fact, Southtowner's got a little contest going there, and I actually I picked both teams. I was hoping he wouldn't. He wouldn't notice that, but that was one of the two games in 1A and 2 I really struggled with. I had West Carroll. I wanted to go with the upset, but the fact that they struggled with Greenfield last week after beating them so soundly the first time 2 weeks earlier, are they got COVID problems? I don't know. Maybe
common opponents. So West Carroll lost to Dresden.
Yeah. That's the thing.
I'm going to go Lake County at home. That's why. It's at Lake County. Correct?
Yep.
That's why.
I'm going to go with you. I'm going to go Lake County, but I don't know. I'm worried about that one.
Yeah.
Worried about that pick, Lee. All right, let's move on now to Class 2A Lee Teat.
Oh, man, there's some huge ones here, too.
There's some tough picks right here.
My gosh.
Right here, Quad 1, Meigs County, South Green. You got 2 undefeated teams. How often do you get to see that in the quarterfinals?
And 2 Mr. Football finalists.
2 Mr. Football finalists. You got Will Meadows, finalist there for Meigs County. You got Luke Myers, the junior. He's the younger brother of, is it Logan? Logan Meyer. We talked to, we had Coach Jones on with us a couple weeks. I think I want to say it's Logan. I'm not sure. I apologize if that's wrong. But anyway, I mean, Coach Jones had nothing but great things to say about Luke Myers. And obviously he's a very huge part of what these guys have done this year. and Will Meadows just as well. I mean, they got Justin Key, Brady Blevins. They got a lot of great players on that Meigs County team. So they may be a little more diverse as far as what they can do, and they've been there. They've been there. They've been there. Been there. Who do you like in this one, Lee?
Mike, I like Meigs in a close one.
Meigs in a close.
Yep. I think this is a one-score game.
It's at Meigs County. You look, Meigs beat Hampton 49-34. I think South Green beat them 35-31. Look at the Rockwood's difference in scoring lead. Meigs County beat them 67-21, and then South Green beat them 35-7 last week.
Yep.
So it's not a huge difference. Not a lot of discrepancy in scoring in common opponents. I'm going to go with you, my friend. I'm going to go with Coach Fitzgerald and the experience.
Been there, done that.
Been there, done that. But I think that could potentially be a really good game. What we got over here? Everybody going Meigs? Anybody
Meigs.
going out?
Meigs in a high scoring
Jacket
game.
Lover going Meigs. Everybody going Meigs, ain't you, Lee?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to tell who's going what, man. I can't see it. I don't have my glasses on. So keep me posted.
Yeah, everybody's running.
Give them a shout out, man. Let them know what's going on over there. Don't neglect don't neglect our regulars.
I'm
Make sure you
focused
mention.
on these matchups.
Make sure you mention them, man. Don't neglect our boys over there.
I'm super stoked about all these matchups. I ain't even
What about
looked
this
over
one right here, Lee? Watertown and
God.
Trousdale County. Man,
Buddy.
over the last 3 years, these guys have had some showdowns. 9-7. Watertown won that first meeting between these two. 58% of our Twitter followers at Tennessee Sports like Watertown. Watertown, with Braden Casino at quarterback, Jordan Kaysen, Jordan Carter. I mean, they got a lot of talent for that Purple Tiger team. Gavin Webster's done a good job with them. Flip side, we had Blake Satterfield on with us last week, week 4. Last week. And, Cameron Rankin looks good. Jaden Hicks looks good. Alex Ford, he's got a lot of seniors. A lot of seniors.
Yes.
Jordan Pickens, Bryson Claiborne is now apparently healthy, playing well. He's a difference maker. He can take it to the house, at any time. Who you like?
This is at Watertown.
It's at Watertown.
Typically, whoever wins the regular season in this game
Loses
in the playoffs. They've done this last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
The only thing I've been on Watertown all year, Mike. I know you took Trousdale early.
I did take Trousdale to come out of this quad, and I'm going to stick with that.
I'm going to go Watertown, but I'll tell you what worries me about this game is Coach Satterfield, I think he may throw a wrinkle at Watertown. I think Watertown's going to do what they do.
Yeah.
But I think Trousdale
He may have to throw a wrinkle. This Watertown team is so good.
He'll throw a wrinkle out there. That's what concerns me late in the game. I like Watertown. I like the defense. I'm gonna stay with them, but this game is a toss-up for me.
What's long man got there? I can't see it.
H2O. And Southtowner says don't pick against Trousdale.
I'm with you, Southtowner. I kind of feel the same way.
Yeah, it's hard to it's hard to pick against.
Yeah, it's hard, man. A lot of tradition there.
So that was a toss-up for me, but I'm gonna go H2O.
All right, Lee. I'm glad you did because that's definitely a pick-em game. So we're on both sides of it. So one of us will look smart Saturday. Hopefully it's me. Waverly Central hosting Decatur County Riverside. Lee. This is another tough game. 21-0. Riverside lost the first meeting. Waverly, the Tigers shut them out. Randall Bolden squad playing as good as any team in the state right now. They're playing really well. They lost to Huntington early. They lost to Westview, but they beat Riverside, Houston County. They're really playing good as of late. They beat Forest last week, 37-14, and then Riverside got some revenge over their first game of the year. They beat Lewis County in shutout fashion.
Yep.
12-0, a good defensive battle.
I went Riverside last week in that ball game.
You did. You like to point out the ones you got right over me, don't you?
You
don't say nothing about the ones you missed.
I don't get to do it all. Let's see, man. Mike, I I got to go Waverly Central in this game.
They're at home, Lee.
Tolley's playing good. Ward, Lewis, Townsend all playing good for Decatur County.
Yeah.
But I think right now Waverly Central might be playing their best football.
Alex Tolley had a great game against them first time around, Lee, but he's going to have another big game. You got Edwards, Ballard, Cagle. Of course, you know the name in Stanfield, very popular name there in Waverly.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of talent on that side. You got Weston Ward, Lewis, Townsend up front. Lewis and Townsend up front, really good for the Panthers.
You think it's a low-scoring game?
I think it is a low-scoring game. I sure do. I think this may be one of those situations. First 1 to 20 wins a game.
Probably.
What do you think about that?
That's probably right.
Quad 4, Lee, Peabody hosting McKenzie, and we'll have our buddy Shane Jacobs on. Shane Jacobs sent us these fine-looking hats, Lee. See that? Nike emblem. Fitted hats. Peabody on the back. That's our man right there.
Yes,
can
sir.
we be bought? Absolutely, we can be bought. No, I'm just kidding. He's just a good dude, man. He just said, it's kind of a symbol of our appreciation for what you guys do for high school football, and we appreciate him. I told him, man, he's the reason why we do this. It's coaches like him.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly right.
Appreciate those guys being tolerant of us. We're just amateurs doing this, and
well, like I said, I'll say it again, and I'd say it if he was standing right here. If I lived in that region, in that area, I'd find a way to get into that school and have my son play for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you know how I am about my kids.
Oh yeah, I do.
I'd let 'em.
That says a lot. He probably don't realize how much it means that you would want your kid playing. And I'd feel the same way.
That's exactly right.
He's a stand-up guy, and he's got a good staff under him.
Yes, he does.
And it's a good environment over there.
Yes,
so.
it is.
Anyway, we kind of straight off, Lee.
Peabody.
14-point game, 35-20. This is the closest game
That's right.
Peabody had all year, and that
Yes.
was back, week 2 or 3. It was early in the season. Eli Serber, the senior quarterback from McKenzie,
Mm-hmm.
that scares me, Lee. He's been there, done that. Bo Daniels at running back, done a good job. But you got Mr. Football finalist Khalid Ganaway for Peabody. That kid's having a big season. What we got over here? I can't read it, Lee. Somebody's jacket. What is it? Jacket lover? What's he saying?
He's wanting them hats and t-shirts. He's getting on Miss Marsha. He wants that website put up so he can order it and stuff.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I apologize for that, man. I don't know what's going on with that. I'll get on her again this week. If you come up to Cookeville, jacket lover, we'll see if we can hook you up with something, brother.
Yeah, I like Peabody in this game, Mike.
I like Peabody too. All right, Lee, we're right on time, brother. We're heading into Class 3A. Everybody been with us so far? I'm blind as a bat without my glasses.
They're in, man. We've got 42 people watching this bad
42 people. Goodness. Don't disappoint, Lee. Don't let them down. Don't bring your redneck side out. You've been known to do that on occasion on this show.
Yeah.
Lee, I wonder if anybody's going to pick Alcoa to win their matchup with GP.
43-0 in the first meeting, man. Did GP get 42 points better? 43 points better between now and then.
Hey, man, I'm as big a Derek Ring fan as there is in the land.
Yes, sir.
This dude can flat out coach. Love him, man. He's a regular on our show, but
yes, sir.
It's just a Jimmy's and Joe's situation. They don't have them compared to what Alcoa has. Gray Carroll is a Mr. Football finalist. They got Isaiah Cost, Cam Burden. I mean, this is another roster just littered with D1 talent.
Well, and you know what he does in the playoffs? He's already doing it again. Look at the defense.
Yeah.
No scores.
Shutouts.
They're just too good, man.
Yeah,
That's just the bottom line.
50-0 over Kingston last week.
They're just too good.
No chance. Alcoa. I'm going to agree with you, Lee Teat. Red Bank hosts Loudon, and this is an intriguing game, Lee. Red Bank won this game 13-0, but I'll go ahead and tell you straight up because I know this for a fact. Coach Harry, of course, they had just come off of that COVID They had to give up a COVID loss there before this game last time. And he was under the impression that it didn't matter whether, and I was too, as the whole state was, it didn't matter whether he won that game or not, he was going to be the 1 seed. Well, lo and behold, McMinn Central upset Brainerd. And that messed up the potential three-way tie. It looked going into week 11, there's going to be a three-way tie, which Loudon with the better overall record would have gotten the 1 seed. So I think he entered that week, and I'm not saying he snowball sandbagged through the game. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is I don't know that he necessarily played, his starters the whole time. I don't know. He may have. I don't know. But I do know that he and I, we had conversations that week, and he thought, as I thought, it didn't matter whether they won that game or not. They were still going to be the 1 seed. But, things happen. High school football happens. And so what I'm getting at with all that inside information you guys are getting on the Friday main event, I think Loudon with Coach Harry's son, Keaton, and then Mackenzie Lunsford, I think they're going to win the rematch here, Lee.
Really?
I do.
I'm going Red Bank by 1.
By 1? By 1 point? Wow, I never heard you say that. By 1 point.
Yep. Last man with a ball.
Last man with a ball. 66% of our fan base agree with you, Lee Teat. They like Red Bank Lions. But I'm looking back at last season too, and Loudon kind of dominated Red Bank last season. So I think Coach Herrig knows how to win this matchup, and I'm a big Jeff Herrig fan, by the way.
Man, look at Coach Brown. He's 21-3.
Oh yeah, he's a great coach. I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not knocking him at all. He played at Vanderbilt, did he not?
Yes,
so the
sir.
guy, he knows a little bit about football.
I'm going to go Red Bank, but I think it's a 1 point game, and I think they probably score late to win.
I think it's a close game. I'm going to go flip side. I'm going to go Loudon. They had a big win, 41-16 over Upperman last week, and I thought Red Bank should have beaten Brainerd by more than what they did, 31-12. That game was closer than what I thought it should have been based on how Brainerd just played late in the season. So I don't know. I don't know that Red Bank is better than Loudon, just to be quite frank. I'm going Loudon. What's their guys got?
Red Bank. War Eagles, Cartman says Loudon.
Who said Loudon?
War Eagle Cartman.
All right, one smart guy in the bunch.
Yep. South Towner says Red Bank.
Well, South Towner. That scares me when South Towner says it. That South Towner, he's a pretty smart dude.
Yeah, he's on top of it.
He's on top of it. They're in South Towner. Stewart County hosting Pearl Cohn, Lee. They've pulled some upsets. They beat Fairview there at the end of the season to claim that region title. They're in Region 6. Knocked off Giles County last week. I think you and I both picked Giles County, did we not?
Yep.
Pearl Cohn playing lights out, man. They got Martino Owens. He's got 1,365 yards, Lee, 21 TDs versus 1 interception. That's 7 games, man. He's a Mr. Football finalist. 89% of folks at Tennessee Sports on Twitter like the Firebirds win this. And we'll have Tony Brunetti on with us here in about 20 minutes to talk about this game. Y'all will enjoy that interview, by the way. That dude,
sir.
He's awesome. He is awesome. Who you like, Lee?
Pearl
Cohn. Does Stewart County score? I think that's a bigger question.
I don't think so.
I don't think they score unless there's a turnover. I mean, I'm just telling you, dude, that Pearl Cohn team is that good.
They're so athletic.
They've had, I believe it's like 5, maybe 6 shutouts in a row.
They're so athletic, man.
Yeah, they're
different. It's different.
Ton of talent on that team. And again, matter of fact, Lee, I'm just out of curiosity. I want to say it's 6 shutouts in a row. It may be 5. Maybe it's 5. I'm gonna look it up just because I should have had that in my notes. My apologies, folks. All right, Pearl Cohn has shutouts. 1, if you count the COVID, it's 6.
Right.
But they've had 5 on the field shutouts in a row. Oh man, that team is good. I don't know. Well, let's go down to I was gonna say they should be a lock, for Cookville this year, but Milan is playing some really good football.
Yes, they are.
They beat South Gibson, their opponent, tomorrow night, 35-14.
Mm-hmm.
In the first meeting. Scott Stedham, Lee, one of the better coaches in the state. I've said that for a long time now. Of course, they won that region last year. I think they had, I want to say, four wins in region play were less than a score, which tells me he has the ability to win the close games, and that's kind of to me that's kind of a marker of a good coach, the ability to win the close games. So Coach Stedham, he does a great job there at South Gibson. But I think Milan, with my boy Anthony Brown at quarterback, Mr. Football finalist, Milan, the Bulldogs may just have a little too much.
I think so. I think Milan scores early. And if Coach Stidham can't keep the ball out of Anthony Brown's hands, it's dangerous. So I'm going to go Milan, especially at home on that new turf, new field. And I like them.
High score, low scores?
Probably similar to what you saw last time, maybe 35-21 type game.
You think it's about a 14-point game?
Yeah, I think Milan's going to take some big shots early.
Yeah.
You see, if you get that triple option behind the scoreboard, they got to play makeup, get out of what they like to do.
Well,
so
Milan,
I think you take a couple shots early and get up on them.
Yeah. Milan got that COVID win, so they've been off a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
South Gibson had a close game, relatively close, 21-17 against Westview last week. I'm going to go with you. I'm going to go Milan Lee. I'm anxious to see that Pearl Cohn Milan potential semifinal. I think that might be interesting there.
Be two athletic squads.
Athletic squad. And then on the top side, I like Loudon and Alcoa. You like Red Bank and Alcoa.
Yep.
All right, folks. So that's Class 3A. Was everybody with us on Milan Lee?
Yep. Everybody's on Milan. Roy Dillard's wanting to know when we're going to talk to Coach.
Roy.
Ryder, he's coming up, Roy.
He said he's got a bunch of questions he's wanting to throw out there in that live chat, Lee. So,
I'm sure he does.
You'll have to. I don't have my glasses on, so you'll have to.
I didn't know they had computers at Ronnie's Red Eye.
I don't know. They may not.
He's talking to us on one.
Maybe he went out and bought him a smartphone.
Okay.
He ain't that smart. I don't know how he's got a smartphone. He's probably got somebody. He's probably got a grandkid typing on it for him or something.
Yeah.
So if Roy happens to say anything noteworthy in this Grider interview, make sure you take note of it. And
I will.
let us know. We'll try to help you out, Roy, old buddy.
Yep.
All right, Lee, let's take our first break. We'll show a little bit of scrimmage, or actually a little bit of game video. I went and watched Oakland and Mount Juliet last week. We'll switch over and let you guys watch a little bit of that video from that game last week as we get Coach Vic Grider on the line. This is a Friday Main Event. I am Mike Molder. He is Lee Teat, and we'll be back after this.
Victor Stevenson on the keeper. Stop made by Griffin Thornberry and Brayon Patterson. No gain on the play, second down 10. Pass is complete to number 7, Isaiah Horton. Done by Jamari Sowell. Brings up third down 2.
All right, Lee Teat, we are back. We got Roy Dillard's favorite coach in the entire state of Tennessee with us. We got South Pittsburg head coach Vic Grider on with us. Coach, how you doing, my friend?
All right, guys. Doing well. Glad to be with you. Glad we're still playing.
I hear you, man.
Right.
That's a big thing this day and age with all the COVID stuff. We had J.R. Kirby, good buddy of mine last week, man. He didn't get to play, so you never know from week to week, do you, Coach?
No, it's been a very good and very season, but I didn't think 2 months ago we'd be at this point, but we've somehow managed to get there, and hopefully we can be able to finish this thing to the end.
Coach, first off, we kind of wanted to congratulate you. You got two Mr. Football finalists, Hunter Frame and Jared Stone. Two great kids, very deserving of that honor, aren't they, Coach?
Absolutely. I mean, I don't know if there's two better representatives of our program. You know, they're both those guys are program guys that have been with us for 4 years, you know, and have worked their way up through the program, and really proud of both of them. They both had, outstanding senior years, and, they're very deserving of what they got. They'd be the first to tell you that it's, a lot of it's got to do with their teammates and the people around them. But I'm really happy for both those guys and their family. Those are true South Pittsburg people right there.
Well, Coach, I think tomorrow night will be your first trip outside of Bean Stadium since October 16th when you guys made that short trip over to Whitwell. Are you kids pretty excited about that 2-hour trip over to Gordonsville tomorrow night?
Well, I know they're excited to still be playing. Now, I don't know how excited we are to go to Gordonsville. We've been there a bunch of times. You know, we've played those guys. I think somebody told me today we've played them in the playoffs more than any other team we've played. And,
really?
It's been a lot of times through the years, some here, some there, but it's a very difficult place to go play. Anybody in there the crowd really gets behind them, and it's just a tough atmosphere and a tough environment. And it's going to be a challenge for us, but I think our kids are excited to still be playing, and they know that you got to go through some tough places every year in the playoffs. It never fails. You got to go on the road at some point, and tomorrow night happens to be it for us. I just hope we can play well and give ourselves a chance.
Well, Coach, you won 4 in a row. With all these COVID issues, some of the teams have faced this year, we was wondering if you're going to have a full roster tomorrow night going over to Gordonsville. Everybody healthy?
Yeah, we will. We've somehow managed to avoid any major issues with the COVID. The 2 or 3 kids that have been affected with us, first of all, we've not had any positive cases on our team the entire year, but the ones that have been affected have been because of family members,
right.
So somebody in the family's been, and they've had to stay away for 14 days or whatever. But, we've been through that with, like I said, 3 or 4 kids, but we've been very fortunate. But I think we've worked really hard to do it the right way. I mean, we've took some precautions that I never thought that I'd be a part of. We kids right now dressing in 3 different locker rooms just to try to keep them apart every day. We're sending some of our younger kids home about 45 minutes to an hour before the end of practice, just to kind of keep them apart. And,
right.
We're trying to get ourselves.
That's smart.
We're doing everything we can possibly do to give our kids a chance to play as long as we need to play, however long it may be. But I'm proud of them, too, because they've done everything we've asked them to do and made some major lifestyle changes, which is hard for kids to do. So,
darn straight about that.
Part of the credit goes to them, there ain't no doubt.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, you're doing what you need to do because, I mean, a team as talented as you got this year, they don't come around every year. Coach, I was able to watch a little bit of that video of that Monterey game, and, Braden Sanders, he really hasn't had the opportunity this season, to show off that big arm he's got. I know he made some nice passes in the game, took advantage of some size mismatches, I think, with Hunter and Cooper, to name a couple. He's looked pretty good, hasn't he, Coach?
Yeah, Braden has done exactly the things that we've asked him to do. And, people that know us and know me, they know we're not going to throw it around, 20 times a game or anything like that. But, we're one of those teams, and Braden understands it. We're going to throw the ball, anywhere from 10 to 15 times a game. And but he also knows that when we do it, people are so concentrated on our run game that he's going to get some chances for some big plays. And Braden has done a great job of managing that. He's not thrown the ball to the other team, which is a big part of it. And, we've got some good receivers out there in Reggie Hunter and Jackson Lewis and Jaden Mount and some guys that have had really good years for us. So we're not afraid to throw that thing around a little bit, when we need to.
Yes, sir.
Well, Coach, you're talking about your run game there too. Kind of season that Hunter Frame's having. We obviously had him nominated for a Mr. Football candidate, and then now you got a healthy DeAndre Kelly getting some carries. I think it's making your run game even more potent. Do you expect Gordonsville to try to stack the box on you tomorrow?
Well, I don't, if I was playing us, that's what I would do. I would try to get people up there to stop the run and force us to throw the football. And, that's what the good teams do.
Right.
That try to take away the run game. But, you talked about getting DeAndre back. That's just been such a huge plus for us.
Right.
He missed pretty much the majority of the season. He played about a game and a half, during the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, last week we kind of got him back full speed for the first time, and that's just going to make us better, and it's going to make Hunter better because now people they can't just single in on that one guy, and it makes us a more complete football team, and there's bigger days ahead for DeAndre Kelly because he's a really good football player, and the good thing about him is he's a junior and he'll be back next year, and he's going to get front of the work for our football team.
Well, also, Coach, on the other side of the ball, senior DB Jackson Lewis made a highlight reel interception last week. We always talking about how explosive your run game and your offense is, but this has got to be one of the better defenses you put on your field, and kudos to Coach Wagner, our buddy over there. But talk a little bit about that defense.
Yeah, we're really pleased with how our defense has progressed this year. That our big question mark. We thought we could be pretty good, in the defensive front and at the linebacker position because we had some people back, but the question mark was the back end. We lost, All-State Ronto Tipton, All-State Jalen Hubbard,
right.
Lost our starting corners, so, we had a lot of question marks there. And, Jackson Lewis, I'm glad you brought his name up because Jackson has had a heck of a football season now, and he's another one of those program guys that's been here for 4 years and, has just worked his way up and earned his playing time, and now he's finally got it, and he's making the most out of it. And I'm just really proud of the season that guy's had. He's played about as steady football for us as anybody on our team.
Well, Coach, if you guys are able to get past Gordonsville, obviously you guys will face the winner of Oliver Springs and Coalfield. We kind of thought Greenback would probably be the team coming out of that quad, but Coach Henry finally got that monkey off his back, got past Greenback. Who are you guys expecting maybe to come out of that quad one over there?
I'm going to be honest. I've only watched probably maybe 30 or 45 minutes of film on both those guys. It's kind of hard to speak to them. I know this. I've known Keith Henry for a long time, and there's nobody, in my opinion, in Class A ball that does a better job than him. I mean, he coaches the crap out of his guys.
Mm-hmm.
Really, the only thing I've got to go by is who won the first time they played, and I think Coalfield snuck by them the first time. So,
yep.
Other than that, we have a thing here. We love practicing on Thanksgiving. So that's our goal.
Right.
That's right. Let's get tomorrow night out of the way, and hopefully go to Gordonsville and try to figure out a way to win the football game. And we'll worry about that next one Saturday morning.
Well, Coach Grider, I promised you I wouldn't keep you on too long tonight. Lee, is Roy got anything in the comment section there?
Well, quickly, congrats to your Tennessee commit. Your guy got an offer today from Tennessee, and Roy wants to know, are you going to put him on the offensive side of the line and let him knock some holes?
Well, I tell you what, that's a work in progress, and people, when they look out there and they don't see that guy playing both ways, they probably think I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but Theo has been a man. What a addition to our football team that guy has been. I mean, we knew he was extremely talented when he transferred in here, and he's just continued to progress, and he's kind of learned our way of doing things and how to work a little bit harder than he probably ever had. And the thing about him, I just think there's a lot of upsides because he's not really had a year in our weight program yet, and he's just gonna get better and better. I mean, 6'4", 285 guys that can run don't come along very often.
That's right. That's right.
All I can say is I'm glad he's on my football team.
I hear you, Coach. Hey, good luck to you tomorrow night, brother. We're Lee and I are still planning on seeing you up there in Cookeville, so hopefully it all works out, and we look forward to seeing you again soon, my friend.
Guys, I hope so. I hope to see you there. Y'all have a good one.
All right,
you too, Coach.
Sir.
Thanks, buddy. All right, Lee. Big Gratter.
I might see him tomorrow night.
You might see him tomorrow.
I'm
That's
getting
right.
excited
I'll tell
about
him I
that
said
game.
I have to see him tomorrow night.
Sorry, Mike. I gotta get a drink.
Yeah, that's fine. We need to cut the break anyway, man. It's going to be slam bam tonight, folks. We got 6 coaches instead of 4 like we normally do. So it's going to be rapid fire. So we're going to go ahead. We'll transition into some more video of that Oakland game, and we'll be back right after this.
First and 10 from the 24. Manning, the ball carrier. Picked up 2 on the play. Second down, 8. Cohen back at the ball carrier. Brings up third down, 7. Pass is incomplete.
All right, Lee, we are back. Friday main event. We just got off with Vic Grider, our preseason favorite to win a state title. Another guy we think's got a excellent chance of going to Cookeville again this year. Lee is 2-time defending state champ Peabody head coach Shane Jacobs. Coach, how you doing, my friend?
Man, we're doing well, guys. Appreciate y'all having me on. Always enjoyed the show, and looking forward to talking to you guys tonight.
Well,
Well-
Coach, just to give you the heads up, I got my hat on, but I got it turned around backwards. I got my headset on like I'm in the box, man. I'm
Hey,
like
we'll
I'm,
take you in the box.
I'm like I'm
Hey, if
setting
you're
up here.
available tomorrow night, we'll put you in the box tomorrow night.
I don't think you might want Lee. You wouldn't want me in the box. That'd be that'd be an advantage for your opponent, I'd say. Well, Coach, we love the gear. I'm going to tell you that. We got that on right now. But I think you guys were able to dodge that corona for the most part this season. I think maybe you had to reschedule a couple of games due to opponents being low or not able to play. But how you guys look heading into this rematch with McKenzie? Everything healthy? Everything good to go on your end?
Man, we've been fortunate, and when you've had a little bit of success, it's a lot of luck goes with that. So we've been fortunate in terms of injury, and so we're healthy right now. Been fortunate with this COVID stuff. And, man, just a huge shout out to our parents and our players. Done everything we've asked them to do, and we've asked a lot out of them this year. And shoot, they've done what we've asked them to do. And so I'm just always had a great group of parents at Peabody, but this group of parents we have this year, they've really made a lot of sacrifices, and the kids have made a lot of sacrifices to make the season happen, and we're just so grateful for all the support and everything they've done for us this year.
Well, Coach, you got a 14-point win over McKenzie in Week 3. I think that's probably your closest contest all season. So I'm sure, you were anticipating a potential rematch there in the playoffs. That night, Kalik Ganaway, your Mr. Football finalist there, had a big night for you guys. I think he had 179 yards, 2 TDs. You think Coach Comer is going to try to key him, and are you still going to try to get? We're still going to see a steady dose of Kalik against them.
Yeah, that's what we want to do. We want to run the ball, but those guys, I think Coach Coleman is as good as there is in West Tennessee schematically, and so we know that he's going to make us throw and catch. They're going to have those safeties down tight in the box, and we're going to have to throw and catch tomorrow night. But of course, in high school football, the remedy still, the remedy for success is always going to be running the football. So we'll have to try to establish the run, but certainly going to have to throw and catch. And Sam will have to play well tomorrow night, Sam Triggers. He's gotten better every game, and we have some very capable receivers. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun atmosphere. I think that we're close to selling out for the game tomorrow night. I think by game time it'll be sold out. It's been an anticipated matchup all season long, so it's really cool for a guy like me and kind of coming into the coaching deal. Wade Comer was kind of the guy. He's the legend in West Tennessee, so it's always fun to coach against Coach Comer. I think a lot of him have a lot of respect for him.
Yeah, he's definitely a good one. Well, Coach Lee mentioned Kalik. Mr. Football finalists were announced Tuesday, and of course, as we mentioned, he's among the three left in the running. He's been such an asset for you guys this season. He had a big year. He's only a junior. I was wondering if you've had any colleges that have started to reach out to him yet.
Yeah, he's getting some looks. Kalik's kind of a smaller guy in stature. Kalik's only about 5'6", 145 pounds, something like that. So he's a little smaller, but I'm proud of the season he's had. But Kalik personally has come a long way, which is really what football is all about. Just personally, his personal growth and kind of the way he is in the classroom, the responsibility he's taken for his grades and everything. He's come a long way as from his freshman year, and that's what we're most proud of. And so certainly proud of all of the accolades he's getting and kind of the attention he's getting now. But he's become a very serious student, very mature student in the game, student in the classroom, and so just proud all the way around of Kalik. Kalik's a testimony of what high school football can do for a young man, and so just extremely proud of him and proud for him and proud for his family, his mom. When I called her, Miss Virginia, she's the sweetest lady, great mother, and it was a great conversation. It's one of those fun conversations to have in the office that day. So it's been really cool. It's been a really good experience.
Well, Coach, your offensive coordinator there, Coach Taylor, his offense gets a lot of focus, man. But Coach V's defense has been equally impressive over that 3-year run of dominance for you guys. How much of those two guys meant to you in your program?
Oh gosh, I wouldn't trade that staff we have there at Peabody. We're all equals. I'm head coach by title, but we're all equals. We all get in there and we all work together. And that offense is Coach Taylor's. He runs it. He and Coach Driggers, our O-line coach, they do that offense and they do a great job. I think Coach Driggers is best O-line coach around. I've never been around a better O-line coach. And actually, Coach Taylor played for Coach Comer at McKenzie, and Coach Driggers coached for Coach Comer at McKenzie. So we got some McKenzie ties on our staff. But, man, I just couldn't say enough about Coach Taylor and Coach Driggers and Coach DeChar, our wide receivers coach, what those guys do and how hard they work. And they're just phenomenal. I really don't think there's a guy in the state of Tennessee that's luckier than I am in terms of the staff and the guys with whom they get to coach with every Friday night. They're a lot of fun. They work their tails off. They really do.
Well, Coach, the new regions came out a couple of weeks ago. I think you'll be driving down to Class 1A. Other members of that region will be Greenfield, Halls, Humboldt, Lake County, and West Carroll. What were your initial thoughts on the new region?
Well, like anybody else, we certainly, when they first come out, we said, there's no way we're going to go 1A. We're not a 1A school. And in fact, we explored the idea of 2A, explored the idea of 3A and all the way up to 4A. But our problem in West Tennessee with the rural schools that we play against, it's just so hard to find a schedule. And so we looked at it and said, if we go 1A, there's 5 guaranteed games that we could have, and then we could go find any 5 games that we wanted to after that. We swung and missed on a couple bigger schools that we were trying to get on the schedule, and I understand it from their standpoint. You know,
I think Henry County was one of them, wasn't it?
Well, if they beat a 1A school, they're supposed to. If they lose to a 1A school,
that's
it's
true.
not good.
No win situation for them.
Yeah, and so I got that. I understand that from a bigger school's standpoint. So that was ultimately, you know, we said, well, we can go 1A, get 5 guaranteed games, and let's try to play 2 or 3 of the best teams from that 2A region we would have been in, and let's get miling, and let's go find a 4A opponent. I really thought we was going to get something worked out with Lexington. Wasn't able to get anything worked out with Lexington, but I think that the non-region schedule is going to be a lot of fun. Getting Ty Simpson over to Trenton, really excited. We saw him play in a 7-on-7, and that kid's the real deal. So Westview will be a lot of fun seeing that kid play and watching film and scheme against him. He's phenomenal, and of course getting Dyersburg on the schedule. So we're really excited about the schedule we were able to put together.
Well, brother, I told you we wouldn't hold you up long tonight, man. We're actually trying to squeeze a coach in every class. So tune in, listen. You might find something interesting in the rest of the show.
Always do. Always tune in. Watch it every week. Guys, appreciate what y'all do for high school football. It means the world to the kids and the coaches across the state. So appreciate all the effort y'all put into it.
Hey, we appreciate you, brother, and thanks again for the hats, man. We look forward. I think we're going to get to see you again here in a couple of weeks. We look forward to it. Good luck to you, my friend, and we'll holler at you again soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate it, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah.
Lee, I don't even know if we should go to a commercial break. We done got behind. I might have been a little too ambitious trying to do this. I didn't allow enough time. I mean, 10 minutes just isn't enough time to cover what we want to cover with these guys. I'm going to go ahead and call Tony Brunetti on air. How about that?
Have at it, brother.
Hopefully he don't cuss me out or anything.
Yeah. I'm going to leave my Peabody hat on.
There he is. All right, there we go. Sorry, folks. We don't normally do this.
Yeah, I got to get a drink.
My sister-in-law was calling during that interview.
Uh-oh. In-laws.
I don't guess she knows that I got a job to do here. I'm working hard here, Lee. I ain't got time fooling no in-laws.
Hello.
Hey, Coach. How you doing, my friend?
How you doing now?
You're on the air, so don't be cussing at me or anything. Hey, brother. I know, I don't know about you, but, man, we were really tickled when we found out you guys were going to get to play. It's pretty touch and go there for a while, wasn't it, Coach?
Yeah, very touch and go. I mean, it's a blessing.
That's right.
Well, we know, I think it was back in August, you know, we didn't really think the season was going to happen. When did you guys finally get the realization that you might get a chance to play?
Right at the last minute. The middle of September.
Yeah.
Last day.
Yeah.
We used to have hope, though. The kids had hope, and the blessing came through. We just prayed about it and stuck together, and things came out real good.
Yes, sir.
Well, Coach, I think you took over the defensive play calling this year, and you guys have pitched 5 straight shutouts. You got to be happy with that defense at this point.
Yeah, we're getting better. We're playing good team defense, but it's a team effort. It's a coaching staff effort, too, as well. We've done a good job as a staff working together and creating good plans together. And I just call plays, but guess what? It all starts at the beginning on Monday in the game plan.
Right. Well, Coach, another thing, man, that we've been impressed with off your squad this year is with guys like Deshaun Wade and Bill and Griffin and Schelling and Parker up front. Obviously you're going to dominate most opponents, but across the state on the other side of this bracket here, you're looking at an Alcoa team who's dominant up front. How do you feel this year's Firebird squad compares to your front that you had last season?
I think we have more depth. We have more depth on front this year.
Right.
A lot of young kids that grew up a lot.
Yes.
And that's the difference.
Yes.
I think we got a lot more size because those young kids that grew up and got bigger and stronger and faster, and now they contribute as a whole. And it's built us to have more depth. I think really, just to talking, they got really 2 senior linemen, maybe 3, the most with DNs included. But the rest of them guys are young sophomore guys that grew up, juniors that grew up. and now they're contributing as a whole. And that makes a major difference.
Yes, sir.
Well, Coach, you guys, you face a gritty Stewart's County team tomorrow night. I think they've now won 7 in a row. You know, they got a dual threat quarterback there, Will Page. What were your thoughts on the Rebels as you studied game film on them this week?
I think they do a good job of the scheme they do. I think they'll believe in the coach and believe in the system, and they'll turn their program around. And to win those big games in the playoffs are big wins. You know, they don't come in fired up. We just got to continue to do what we do, and weather that storm and stay consistent and play football.
Right. Well, Coach, you know, my son Silas, he worked out this summer with Martino a little bit over there when they were throwing some balls around over there in Franklin at the QB training. You know, not only has Martino recovered from his injury that he suffered last year, but man, he was recently named as a finalist, you know, for the Mr. Football Award. Talk about Martino and what he's meant to your ball team.
He's been tremendous. You know, I think to come back off the injury he had and to put on 15 pounds of muscle in the off season when you couldn't lift weights indoors or anything, and eat well and grow probably 2 or 3 inches. He probably grew 2 inches the off season as well. But his leadership and maturity wise came a long way. But also, man, he's throwing it down. It took a minute for us to get going.
Oh yeah,
I think
he's spinning
when you don't have him come out of the injury, not be able to do a lot of things, not be able to camp in the summertime, not be able to do anything. And a lot of people are sleeping on him right now. I think recruiting wise because he couldn't get a chance to go camp at more places in the summertime. Really show how talented he really is. And it's shining now right now. It's shining now. We didn't have any 707s. So the first game was a little rocky for him, I think. That'll be for any quarterback when you ain't got no tune up at all.
Right.
You're going straight to the game and go play. I think after that game, he got comfortable again, moved on and started balling. But his teammates balling with him. And, your teammates make you look good.
That's right.
Making plays. But also, like I said, they're doing a good job protecting him. And he's sitting in the pocket. He's looking to throw that ball, and that's what he does.
Well, hey, Coach, I interviewed you up there in Cookville last year, and you got all over me and Lee. We picked you way low. I'm quoting you. Y'all picked me way low, and I said, where you wanted to pick you at this year, Coach? And we had you right up there at the top, man. And you got so much talent. You got Griffin, Breedlove, Dayton, Brown. Just to name a few, probably the most talented team in the state, on paper. Does that kind of ramp up the pressure on you personally to get that state title this year?
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure on you always. It's always when you have talent to go win that ball, but it takes a lot of things you got to have in your way.
Right.
You have great talent, you can prepare and do everything, but the ball got to go your way. You got to execute. You can't turn the ball over. You got to make plays when it's a 50-50 ball. You got to make those plays as great athletes. And sometimes you got to have a little luck. I always say you got to have a little luck, man. But you take every game right now and you go work consistently instead of playing for that game, we can go play. And when you got special players, it makes it a little bit easier. But also it helps they've done a good job to help to bring the young kids up to their level and guys around them up to their level. That's what's been a plus for the older guys and the seniors come back, those type of skill guys.
Well, Coach, you got Damian Harris and Brandon Woods as your co-offensive coordinators, and you've had them over there for a number of years. Talk a little bit about those guys and what they've meant to the development of your program and also how they handle those kids.
They've done a great job. They work together, 1-2 right there. And the office staff as a whole does a great job, of developing kids, linemen. The system we put in about, maybe I guess something was going on about 8-10 years ago now. And I think everybody's kind of going to just that system and adapting to it like other schools are using it. But we decided way back that we were going to do something. So we went to go meet with Freeze. He was at Ole Miss. We met with Gus. When Gus was at Arkansas State before he went to Auburn. And we just picked their brains and put together an offense scheme-wise where both those guys was involved. And Harris and also Woods, they worked together to build a plan. And the plan's been successful, man, for many, many years.
That's right.
And I think you always can grow and get better wise, but those two right there working well together with Coach Haystack, that's Coach Curry. You got the Coach Dre, Andre Davis. All those guys have done a great job. I brought some young guys in a little bit this year. I give them a little props to Eric Knight and Killer Miller on the defense side of the ball. But Eric Knight has brought some fire on the wide receiver side of the ball as a young coach and brought some new ideas in as well. But guess what? They do. Our staff does a great job of planning, and we just have to continue to do a good job planning to do the playoffs.
Well, Coach Brunetti, man, we've been really impressed with what you guys have been able to do. I know it's a shortened season, man, but you guys have made the most of it. Your team looks really good. Really excited with the direction you're headed in, man, and hopefully we can talk to you again soon, my friend.
I hope so. I hope so. We got to take care of business tomorrow night, and then we go take one game. We always believe take one game at a time.
Yes,
One
sir.
game at a time. So
Yes,
we'll
sir.
take tomorrow, and then we'll deal with whoever we got to play next week. The following week, we'll just go do what we got to do.
Sound like a plan, Coach. You're a good one, man. We appreciate you, brother, and we hopefully we'll get to see you up there in Cookville again this year.
I'm not giving you a hard time. I appreciate you. I appreciate you.
Hey, we like a hard time, man. We can handle it. All right, Coach. Good luck to you, my friends.
I appreciate you.
See you, brother.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate you.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, Lee. I like Coach Brunetti. He's a trip. Coach Smith called me while we were on that interview. You wanna? I'll tell you what, Lee. Let's take this real quick break here, and then we'll be back with Coach Smith. 1 second.
We got
Maybe.
Corey Styles, ball carrier. Eight of 4 on the play. Second down and 6. Cullen back at the ball carrier. He is stopped in the backfield by Ethan McLaurin. Loss of 2 brings up third down, 8.
All right, we are back. Tony Brunetti, Pro Cohn, just got off phone with Lee. We got Haywood head coach Chris Smith joining us now. Coach, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing pretty good. How you doing?
Well, I'm trying to keep everything together, man. Lee had the bright idea of getting 6 coaches on tonight, and it's about drove me crazy trying to keep everything straight. Coach, I think you guys, you've been able to get 6 games in this season. I know this COVID stuff has been crazy. You had a lot of cancellations and whatnot, so obviously you hadn't played as many games as you want. I think then the first round bye, because of Shelby County not playing, it's been a pretty crazy year for you guys, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been pretty wild, but we've been trying to make the best of the situation, and it's really tested our practices, the way you schedule, the way you strategize, and it's really made coaches get pretty unique in the approach that they take and how you handle those things.
Right.
Well, Coach.
So it's definitely been a good challenge for the coaches and players for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, Coach, I think it was week 5 the last time that we got to speak to you, and you guys had just gotten word, I think, that Dyersburg was going to have to cancel. You're finally able to see those guys last week. Walk us through that game and how you guys were able to totally dominate what we thought was a pretty good, Dyersburg team.
As y'all kind of mentioned, earlier, we had some weeks missing there. Had a lot of off time, and really, at the end of the day, people say, why do you practice? Well, you practice to obviously get better.
Mm-hmm.
And if your practices are designed right, you're going to get better through time. So while we weren't playing games, we still felt like we were getting better, and we were making improvements and evolving as a football team through that time. And we saw a lot of the things that we thought we needed to work on and improve during that time, and it was almost a blessing in disguise that we were able to spin a negative into a positive and get better at the things that we thought that we need to get better at. We wanted to be a championship caliber football team or make a run, and we saw those things. And to the players and coaches' credit, we went out there and kept working hard despite not having games, and we found ways to sharpen those things up and get it done. So, definitely we were excited to play those guys, and I think anytime our players are getting a chance to take the field, they're excited. You just never know when it's going to be your last, and I've seen so many teams during this just end up getting eliminated from the playoffs and stuff like that without losing. It's horrible, bad to see. You don't want to see it.
Right.
But I think the players at the end of the day realize, anytime we get a chance to get out there and play ball, hey, let's maximize every second of it because, these Friday nights are running out.
Well, Coach, here you guys are, hosting a quarterfinal game against a Ripley squad that I think you shut out 35-0, a little over a month ago. How hard was it for you guys this week to keep your kids from getting, complacent, knowing that, you guys didn't really have much of a challenge the first time around?
I think our guys understand, Ripley is a very athletic team. They're big on the defensive line, but they're very, strong. They're fast. They're really big on the offensive line. They have two good backs that can take it the distance at any moment. We do understand that, I kind of, just explained to the guys, like, they're in the final 8 teams in 4A for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And they're obviously a threat if they're there. They wouldn't be there if they weren't. And so they've obviously found something that's working for them, and kind of like we thought that a lot of people we thought kind of counted us out after we had some good learning lessons early on in the season. So we kind of compare them to ourselves in the sense that we feel like they've probably learned and gotten better as this things went on too, and the more we play, the better these things are going to get. And nobody's record means anything anymore. It's pretty much survival of the fittest. So anybody that's going to step up and try to play in the playoffs, they're trying to send you home for the year. So it's obviously a legit threat. Well,
you mentioned Katarian Moore. I think he's got like 4,000 career rushing yards. He's a 2-time All-State candidate. You gotta consider them a threat anytime they got a kid like that in the backfield, don't they?
Oh yeah, there's no doubt. He was good last year. He's great this year, and their offensive line's really firing off the ball. They're great at double teaming. They're really big, and they got I believe an all-star caliber player on the defensive line, and they have 2 others that are almost as good as he is.
Mm-hmm.
So they're very good in the spots you would want to be good down the stretch late in the season.
Right.
If you're big and can run the ball and you can stop the run on the defensive line, then you got a shot.
Oh yeah.
Anybody play.
Coach, the first time we had you on, we mentioned several of your skilled players, including Lewis, and Evans and Taylor and Newbern and Stewart. I think all those kids that we talked about were seniors. How important has this senior class been to you in this crazy 2020 season from a leadership standpoint?
Oh, I think they've been fantastic. I can't imagine, being 18 years old and being, seeing it from their perspective. And, you're working hard. You find out on Thursday you're not playing when you put in all the work. You worked all summer. And, then to take practice still serious, even when you don't have a game that week, and to make improvements from a team that took some tough losses early on to some great football teams to now, rising above, setting out weeks, rising above the situation in 2020 this year. And, especially some of the guys, like you mentioned, Kylan, everybody looked at him, early on the season, and, even coaches were telling me, hey, he can't throw the ball, coach. Just run him. Just run it more.
Mm-hmm.
And he's actually been throwing the ball downfield as well as any quarterback I've had. And he's developed himself into a great passer. And those receivers, they're going up, and, they want to win on any route that they get. And they want to go get the ball, and they're hungry and motivated. And so, to me, it's been a very special group because this is something positive that our community can hang their hat on. Our community's been hit pretty hard with the COVID stuff. And we were counted out, I think, pretty early on. And I think we're proving that we're still here and we're wanting to play and that we still can be a dangerous team. And I think they feel extra motivation because of what's transpired and how things have gone this year.
Well, Coach, I personally don't ever count out a Brownsville kid. But, Coach, your new regions, they come out a couple weeks ago, and your region takes on a very different look. You're gaining Jackson Northside, Milan, South Gibson, and you're losing Ripley and Dyersburg. Is the region about what you guys were expecting, and did it play out like you thought it would?
In a lot of ways it did. There were a few surprises in there. We knew it would split somehow, but You know, I like that it's a bigger region. That's
Mm-hmm.
less games that we have to find during the regular season because, um, you know, it's honestly hard for some teams to find games when the
Yes,
regions
sir.
are really small. When you got to find six,
Oh,
seven
yeah.
football games,
Absolutely.
it's not like everybody's signing up to say, oh, let's see how good a competition we can play throughout the year. And you know,
Okay.
which is kind of sad. It's come to that in a lot of places. You know, I mean, a lot of people are, I think, worried about job security, worried about their records, and I think we sometimes miss the fact that, you know, playing better teams gets you ready for the playoffs. And I
That's
feel
right.
confident that the schedule that we put together, you know, starting off with the Henry County,
Mhm.
that made us better. It exposed some things that we obviously need to work on if we want to be a championship level football team, you know. And then we played Covington the next week. We picked them up. We didn't have to. Well, they helped show our kids the toughness and intensity in which you have to play to be a championship team. So we learned lessons every time we played somebody great. And I think that's actually helping us right now.
Right.
And so I would say, you know, we're excited uh, that the region's so big, but we're excited about some of the additions that joined in because, you know, you're playing some of the best in the state in that region. And obviously, I think real competitors want to play the best and want to learn and want to get better.
Well, Coach Smith, when I called you this week, I told you I would keep it short, buddy, but we appreciate you jumping on with us. Good luck to you. We think you got an excellent shot of potentially getting back up there to Cookville this year, and you're doing a really good job over there.
I appreciate it. And thanks for having me on. And anytime I'll be ready.
All right, Coach.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Coach.
buddy.
All right, thank you.
All right, see you.
Bye.
All right, Lee.
Yeah, you can't count out a kid from Brownsville, man. That's tough. Them some tough kids over there.
Lee, let's just skip the commercial break, man.
Let's
Keep it
roll.
rolling.
Let's roll.
Kick me in the rear end next time I decide to try to do 6 coaches in an hour. You just can't do it.
I think we're rolling right
We're
along.
doing all right. We just ain't getting to talk to them as much as I like to talk to them. I don't like push. I like taking my time with them, Lee. I feel like I'm not getting everything in that I need to get in. You know what I mean?
Hey, man.
Hey, don't cuss at me. You're already live on there.
Oh, sweet.
We've got some of the head coach Brian Coleman on with us. Coach, how you doing, my friend?
Hey, man, how are you?
We are good. I'm gonna switch this screen up here. Yeah, we didn't even take a commercial break. We're running so darn far behind. I figured we would be. I told Lee, don't let me try to schedule 6 coaches in an hour again. It's about impossible to do.
Yeah, some of these guys want to talk, so I'm sure you run over a little bit, huh?
Well, fortunately, we hadn't had those on. We didn't have Marty Wheeler on tonight. We can't never shut him up, but
Awesome.
it's going pretty good. Well, Coach, you guys have been near flawless. I guess a solid schedule. I think the only loss came against Franklin back in week 4. You know, and at that point, we thought like, what the heck? But heck, here we got Franklin in the quarterfinals, and we'll have Donnie Webb on with us next hour. But you got to be pretty happy with how this season's gone, don't you, Coach?
Yes, sir. And man, Franklin, they're just a great team. Coach Webb is a first class man, first class coach, first class program. The reason why, I mean, we knew, you know, we'll probably get off on another tangent here, but we knew we were going to 6A, so we were scheduling teams like Independence and Franklin, you know, to kind of get ready for the upcoming years. And they're just such a huge offensive line, such a physical offensive line, and we knew that would, you know, prepare us for later, you know, later games and later rounds, getting into the playoffs, stuff like that. But just a first-class program, and you know, that was a tight ball game for us, and we needed something like that. Wish we wouldn't have lost, but you know, you can build from that. It was a non-region game, so you can build from that and go forward from that.
Well, Coach, you know, Columbia played you a little closer last week than your 35-0 win back in week 3.
Yeah. They've gotten a whole lot. They've gotten a whole lot better. You know, they had a few kids out early, and you know, their confidence was high. And you know, as much as we try as high school coaches, you know, telling the kids, you know, they're better. But these kids beat them 35-0, and then you know, we tried and we got into the game, and it was a dogfight. And you know, credit to Coach Host and credit to that program, man. They gave us a fight, and we had to scratch and claw. We didn't play our best game, but you know, we advanced. It was ugly, but I think it got their attention this week in practice. You know, the kids were attentive, and they knew also that wasn't their best effort, kind of flat. So, I mean, we can build off of that, I hope. But but it definitely was not our best effort, especially coming off that Hillwood win.
That might have been, like you said, might have been the best thing that could happen to you, having a little scare there in the second round. Coach, we just got off the phone with Haywood head coach Chris Smith. His bunch was kind of in the same boat you guys were in this year, in that they had several teams that had to cancel on them because of COVID this year. Just like you guys, I think they only got 6 regular season games in. How tough was it for you as a coach and you guys as a staff to keep your kids focused, with so many, long gaps between games this season?
Yeah, it was tough. But these kids were hungry, man. They did not want to play. They were really want to play. They were really disappointed in that Silverville game.
Yeah.
It was a huge
Me too.
build up to it. Yeah. And they canceled at about 1:30 on that Friday. So that was a huge letdown to them. So we just kind of, guys, we just, we're always control we can control. That was control we can control was the theme back in June. You know what I mean?
Right.
We didn't know week to week what was going to happen and how we could practice and what things, but don't worry about it. Let's control we can control. We control our football team. We control how we prepare and how we go to work each day. So that was the theme. It sucked, it stinks. But they, people can't control it. Teams can't help that. And I don't know it, but it made us hungry. And then that last one was Lincoln County. We kind of knew that was going to happen. I kind of tried to schedule a game, but, didn't really give a lot of effort to it because we had some kids out for contact tracing also that week. So
Right.
we were going to go into Lincoln County kind of, halfway 70% football team, but we were going to do it. We were going to play. So we didn't schedule anybody. So we just prepared ourselves for Hillwood because we knew, barring a huge upset, that it was going to be Hillwood. So, we gathered some film and got to work on them and went and watched them play Beach that week before. So, prepared our kids for that game. And, the theme there was we had heard all week about everybody saying that, they're going to be rusty. They're going to be rusty. They're not going to, they're not going to give their best game. So that was like our battle cry. We were saying, we're going to knock the daggum rust off. We're going to come out and be a physical football team. And, they did that. And we played a good game that week for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, speaking of Beach, Coach.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. We thought that an athletic Hillsboro team might have had a shot last week, to make some noise, but we all know how it turned out, So what was your thoughts on the Buccaneers watching film?
Well, they were up 8-0 at halftime. Hillsboro got inside the 5 right before half and couldn't score. They got a penalty, put them back a little bit. So it was, it was a tight game the first half. And then it kind of just snowballed from there. I think Beach got a stop, and I think Hillsboro had a long drive again, couldn't capitalize. And I tell you what, this Beach team, they'll lean on you, man. They'll get in that double tight smokestack eye. And Coach Crabtree likes being a physical football team, and they press you. And that little running back, he'll tuck in behind that big offensive line and squirt it outside and bust a long run. So they're going to try to wear you down, and I think they eventually just wore Hillsboro down.
Well, Coach, Mr. Football nominations came out, and Destin Wade, Mr. Football finalist. Man, that was great for him. That kid's worked his tail off, especially with his brother being out, Keaton being out this year. I think that's put even a heavier burden on Destin. But congratulations to him, man. He's had a heck of a year, hasn't he?
Such a great young man too. He's so fun to be around, and like you said, he's beginning the year with his twin brother right next to him in the backfield, and and we go into the season when he's not there, so he had to step up even more. And he's just a competitor, man. He's just, when we need him, he's there. He's he's the bell cow of our team. But again, he's so humble. He gives the offensive line, he gives his teammates just loads of credit. And he knows he can't do it without him and without them. And he's just a great young man. And we needed him last week. He got like 23 carries, but I think 250 yards maybe rushing. Probably average about 9 yards a carry. So if we're struggling, he's going to get the ball. Because he's just a playmaker.
Oh yeah.
The guys understand that they give him a little crack, he can go 80 for a touchdown. So later rounds we get into it, it's not going to be a big secret. We're going to lean on him, and he can throw the ball just as well. You pack the box, he's going to throw it over your head. So just such a great young man, and it's good for our school, it's good for our football program, and and it's good for the future too, because I mean he's just a junior too. So just happy, so happy for him.
Well, Coach, we wanted to talk to you more about your new region and everything, but some dummy, some show producer squeezed too many coaches in, so we out of time.
Oh man!
But yeah, hey man, 6A next year. You kind of hit on it, dude. That's gonna be a tough region.
It's gonna be
but
tough.
But it's all close. That's a good thing about it. Travel's gonna be real close for you guys next year.
They're all close and such quality programs, such great head coaches that it's going to be fun, definitely.
Yes, sir. Well, brother, I appreciate you jumping on with us. We think you got a real good shot of making the Coupe again. Obviously, you was our preseason #1, so don't let us down, man.
Don't mess it up. All right, I got it.
All right, brother. Good luck to you tomorrow night, man.
All right, man. I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
See you, brother. All right, Lee. Sorry about that. I don't know what I was doing there. I bumped something. Got a little static there.
Oh, good, man.
All right. I like Coach Coleman. He's a good dude. He's good people.
Oh, he cracks me up.
All right, Lee. We ain't even got time for commercial. I'm gonna call.
Let's roll. We've been doing it the whole time.
Yeah, might as well. Sorry, folks. I know this isn't real professional to do this on the air, but like I say, our show producer kind of goofed up a little bit here. He overloaded us. Overload. I guess that's better than not having enough material.
That's right.
Have too much, right?
That's right.
We're calling Donnie Webb, by the way.
Hello.
Hey, Coach Webb, you're on air, man, so don't cuss at me or anything.
All right, yes, sir.
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing great, man. It's been a while. You and I are friends on Facebook. I was going to ask you right off the bat, man. I didn't see a lot of lake pictures. Did you get to do any fishing during this COVID over the summer?
We did a little bit. Got that pontoon photo. Did some. Who knows, man? Stay so busy. Try to stay away from that social media sometimes.
I understand. That's probably the smart thing to do. But I'd like to say I'm on your Facebook. One thing I did notice on your social media, apparently you got a genius in the family. I think your daughter Abby scored a perfect score on an ACT. She must have got her academics from you, I'm guessing.
No, we know that all came from Lee, my wife. But yes, you are. It's very nice of you to notice that and commend that. But yes,
that's great. That is great, man. That's hard to do.
I got close. I think if you double mine, they get there.
That sounds about like what mine was, man. I think I had to take it 2 or 3 times just to get into college. So, well, Coach, let's switch over to football, man. After that slow 2-4 start against a really tough schedule, we talked about that a little bit earlier. You guys really turned it on there in the second half. I think you've won 5 of your last 6 games. What do you think's been the biggest difference there? In the second half of the season.
Our quarterback play has been really off the charts here the last 2 to 3 weeks. And I don't say that as saying only because of his play is the reason we were not doing something as well or we're doing a little bit better now. But the confidence that he's playing with and when it's really outstanding. And I'm really proud for the kid because I think he could play on Saturdays if this wasn't a COVID year and we had college camps and that young man got to be in camps and see him throw the football, the way he's playing right now, just really happy for him. But that's a big part of it. And then from there, I don't know. We all don't know what's going to happen tomorrow night. That's for sure. But, I didn't think we were your normal 5-5 team because we play in the toughest region, public school region in the state of Tennessee. And so, our 5 losses at one time, it was everybody that just got beat last weekend or is still playing right now. So,
yep.
And so I didn't think of us as a normal 5-5, and we've played well for sure the last 2 weeks.
Yes, sir.
Well, speaking of that, Coach, last week you guys shocked a lot of people. Well, knocking Ravenwood out, and Y'all lost 21 points to them in the first meeting. You know, what did you exploit this time around?
I think the biggest thing was we held it. We hung in there. We withstood their flurry. That's what Ravenwood's about. They're about scoring a bunch of points as fast as they can, and that's what they did to us in the first game. And matter of fact, the last 2 times we had played them, it's been like that. We got down so fast that you have to scratch and claw just to get back in it. And this one we hung around with them, and we just kept talking. If we can get this thing to the fourth quarter, guys, you can do it, and we just got to believe. And who would have thought at the time that field goal we kicked to go up 24-21, we were disappointed we didn't score, but who would have thought that field goal would have been such a huge 3 points, because obviously you're talking going to overtime instead of a win, after the last drive.
That's right. Well, Coach, you kind of hit on it a little bit earlier, but your quarterback, Connor Blevins, man, he has played lights out. I mean, just in the last 3 games, Coach, he's thrown over 1,000 yards, 9 TDs to 1 interception. You couldn't be getting any better production out of the quarterback spot. Has Connor got anybody looking at him? I know you said he could play at the next level. Has he got anybody that's approached you guys? He's been, correct me if I'm wrong, he took that job over like midway through his junior year, correct?
Yeah, towards the end.
Okay.
We were playing him some, but that's the bottom line. He was the backup last year, and then didn't have camps. I spent 2 weeks ago reaching out to lots of schools, and so there's several that are looking at him, but I can't understand why Vanderbilt, the kid's got a 34 on the ACT and can fling it. I would think they would at least give him a sniff, but who knows what they're doing over there.
Right.
But because we're in their backyard, but it's not about all that. Connor's just what's even better about him, he's just such a great kid, man. I mean, he's a national merit finalist, and just an all-around great person, and playing with a lot of confidence right now, and we just want to ride this wave and hope we keep going.
Well, talking about college level talent, Coach, you got some outstanding prospects up front with Jason Amsler, Fisher Anderson, Clay Crowder, and Journey Keene. I think that makes your play calling a lot easier when you have that kind of talent up front. Don't you think that?
Yeah, our offensive coordinator, Coach Andrew Holcomb, does a great job, and with those guys up front when they are playing well, that was a challenge that we put in front of them, because we were not able to run the ball against Ravenwood the first game, and then Brentwood as well in the first game, and with if we are able to throw it, like we have the last 2 to 3 weeks, that should open up the run game, and we need those guys to step up this week.
Well, Coach, you got a chance to avenge another 20-point loss tomorrow night. I think you guys head over to Brentwood High School. All season, Brentwood's success, at least in my opinion, I've seen them a couple times, is kind of determined, on how quarterback Cade Granzow does. He had a heck of a game last week against Indy. I think if it was me, and again, I'm not a coach, don't pretend to be, but I think kind of the key to beating the Bruins is keeping Granzow, in the pocket and containing him. Is that kind of what you guys are going to approach you're going to take?
Yeah, well, definitely. He's a really good player. Going to college on a baseball scholarship, and then on top of that, he's going to be a walk-on with the football team. So I'd say he's not chopped liver on the football field. He's a really, really talented young man, and you are correct. A lot of what they do, it's obvious, runs through him, but he's got a lot of good talent around him, and we're man, we're excited that it's Franklin versus Brentwood in the quarterfinals, the way it's supposed to be, and we're going to see what happens.
Well, Coach, you know, the new regions came out last week, and most of your competition is going to stay the same, but you got an addition there in Summit. But because you went from Region 6 to Region 7, your early round travel is going to be facing those Shelby County teams. Did that surprise you being placed in Region 7?
To be honest, when it first started, I never even thought of anything like that. But we all were looking at the fact that there was only 8 teams in Memphis. And so we figured they weren't going to make 2 4-team regions.
Right.
And so we knew that was a possibility. I mean, the bottom line is there's too many classes. It shouldn't be 6 classes. It's
Amen.
but it's our fault, because it's the coaches that they all look at what's best for what's best for me, not what's best for the state.
Want to get to the postseason any way they can.
So it's our fault. We voted to keep it. We had a chance, and but I'm telling you, football in Williamson County is going to be good next year. That's for sure.
Yes, sir.
It's going to be a great battle, and then as you said, it's headed towards Memphis for the playoffs.
Yes, sir. Well, Coach Webb, man, hey, it's great catching up with you, my friend. I appreciate you taking the time to get on with us. I texted you last week after that game, man. I was tickled to death that you got that win. I'm so happy for you, my friend. Good job.
I appreciate it, Mike. Appreciate y'all, everything y'all do for high school football. And I told my players, I said I could not get from one text to the next. That game. So the moment was huge, that's for sure.
Yes, sir. Well, good luck to you tomorrow night, my friend. We'll be pulling for you, brother, and if everything works out, hopefully we can get you on with us again later on.
We'll do that.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck to you, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
All right, see you, buddy.
See you, Coach.
All right, Lee. We did it. We did it. 6 coaches. Don't do that again.
Rapid fire.
Rapid fire. Yeah, I didn't get to talk to them much as I like to, Lee. That's what I didn't like about it. That's my favorite part of the show is talking to those guys, and we had to kind of cut it shorter than I wanted to. But hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Lee, if you don't mind, let's take just a real quick, 1 minute break or something here, and let me get a drink.
Sounds
I'm
good,
a little parched, so. Mike Molder, Lee Teat, Friday main event. We're coming back, Class 4A, 5A, 6A, picking all the games. Need our live chat. Get back with us, guys. We want you guys to pick the games with us. We'll be back to pick Class 4A after this. All right, Lee, we are back. I've satisfied my taste buds. Got my whistle wet again, right. So we're ready to roll.
Rolling right along, 4A.
Unfortunately, I absolutely totally forgot to put the graphics up on the first 3 classes, so I'm gonna blame it on you. You're supposed to keep me in line. That's your fault. So we'll go ahead and put Class 4A up, Lee Teat, and talking about Class 4A. And yeah, there it is. I knew I had it somewhere. Elizabethton, Greenville, Lee. This is traditionally a quarterfinal game. Seems like every year.
Unbelievable, man. I thought Anderson County was going to get Greenville.
I did too.
And Greenville come out, but Eddie Spradlin, he's been there, done that.
Yeah, He's been with them he's been to D.C. for the last 7 years.
He's been there. He done that. He knows what's going on in the playoffs. He did a great job, I think, last week. I just think until somebody proves us wrong, man, Bryson Rollins and that entire Betsy squad, it's just going to be Troy Hughes is running wild. I think it's going to be a good game. I do.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a really good game, but I like Betsy.
Bryson Rollins and Hughes both Lee Mr. Football finalists, as we found out this week. Rollins 1,828 passing yards, 857 rushing yards, 44 combined TDs. I don't see any scenario where he doesn't win the Mr. Football this year.
Yeah,
we've been saying that from week one.
Well, like I said earlier, I like a guy that scores.
Yeah.
He's got 44 combined TDs.
That's pretty good, ain't it, Lee? You got Terry Grove. Did you guys could probably? I know Big Dave and him. Is Drew Gregg? Is he still the transfer from Catholic? Is he still the QB for Greenville? Unfortunately, I don't have Greenville stats, so I couldn't look that up. I'm sure one of them guys could tell us that. But Greenville's going to be tougher this time around. It's 41-10. Elizabethton won that game the first time. This game, I gotta believe, is going to be closer this time. Green Devils playing a lot better now, Lee. What do you think?
I think so. I like Betsy at home, obviously, but I think this game is going to be a good game.
Yeah, I do too.
They don't like each other.
No, they don't. There's no love lost. But Sean Wooden, man, what a great job he's done there in Elizabethton.
Well, another thing too, why I like Betsy in this game is what we always allude to. That second round matchup where Greenville had to go to Anderson County.
Yeah,
it takes a lot out of you.
Yeah, it's tough to win two games like that back to back.
Right. So I like Betsy.
I like Betsy also. Tullahoma, Lee, I've got to see John Olive's team a couple of times this year. I've been really impressed with them. 29-14 win over Nolensville the first time they played. Tullahoma knocked Marshall County off 35-7. It wasn't even that close. It was 27-0 at halftime. They kind of called the dogs off there in the second half. Best John Olive team ever, 28 years, Lee. I think they get by Paul Derrick's squad again. I like Ryder Glardy. I like Gage Skipper, and they got some talent there. But I think Jacoby Thomas is a difference maker here.
I do too, man. And then Ryan Scott's kind of more of a dual threat type kid. It makes you stay honest.
Yes.
You got to stay honest against Tullahoma.
Yeah.
I like Tullahoma pretty handily.
And what I noticed the last time I was over, matter of fact, it was this game last time I saw him, Lee. It seems like, and I've mentioned this a couple times on the show, and I'm sure you guys are going to think I'm repeating, but I think the game is kind of slowing down for Ryan Scott. He's a first-year starter there at quarterback, and I think he had kind of a deer in the headlights look, the first half of the season, but he's going through his progressions a lot better now. I think Coach Olive's two sons, the co-offensive coordinators, are doing a really good job of putting in a game plan for Scott, and they're going to give Betsy, if it's them and Betsy, they're going to give them a run next week, I think. I'll be at that game. If I told Big Dave, I think it's Big Dave I was talking to. Big Dave said he's going to buy my dinner next. Didn't you, Dave? I'm just kidding. But yeah, I'm gonna go to that game if that game materializes. I think that'll be a good one. Lexington and Hardin County, Lee, dead even, 50%. Twitter, and I'm kind of at the same situation. Now Lexington did win the first match at 27-14. Jordan Smith, Kenneth Jones, a couple of really good ball players for Lexington, and then of course you got the other side of that, the offensive trio of Whitley, along with Mr. Football candidate Rivers Hunt, and then Caden Pope having a heck of a year there at receiver. What's your thoughts?
Mike, I like Lexington in this ball game. I think Springfield.
Contrasting styles of offense here.
It is, but I think Springfield, Mike, last week in the second half, I actually was chatting a little bit earlier with Jacket Lover about this,
got conservative.
They got real conservative there in that second half, and I think it cost them.
Yeah.
I think it cost them, and they put a lot of heat on Hunt. I think Lexington's going to watch that film, and I think they're going to pressure Hunt a little bit. I like Lexington.
What we going over here? What's the picks?
Some people's liking Hardin County. Jacket Lover likes Lexington. He says they're better up front. They got a better kicker.
Yeah, they definitely got a better kicker, Mr. Football Candidate.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with you, Jacket Lover. I like Lexington.
I'm gonna go Lexington also. 27-14 first contest, Lee, and the game is at Lexington, so that's a 13-point swing. I don't see, that's hard to overcome that big a swing. Right. Haywood, we had Coach Smith on with us a little bit earlier, hosting Ripley. I need to hold on. Sorry, Lee. I got a text today from play-by-play guy for Mike White. He's the play-by-play guy for Ripley. He said that this is a 96 meeting of Ripley and Haywood. They started playing football in 1912. There was only 7 years in that time that they have not played since then. So this will be the 6th time they have played twice in 1 year. Really? So
there ain't no stranger to each other.
No. So appreciate Mike White giving us that information. Yes. Again, he's a radio play-by-play guy for Ripley.
Yeah, if I was down there, I'd want to see this game.
Yeah, it's a long, obviously a very long rivalry.
Yeah, Haywood is stacked with talent. I like Coach Smith. He ain't ducking anybody, but man, Ripley's got a really good tailback. Katarian Moore.
Yeah.
He's got 4,000 career rushing yards.
Yeah, he's a stud, no doubt. We talked to Coach Smith about him. Yeah. Then he's got a couple of linemen, 6'5", over 300 pounds. So they're big up front.
Right.
Got a good tailback. And I got to believe it's going to be closer to 35-0.
I do too, but I like Haywood.
I like Haywood too, but this game, I think this game will be closer than the last time.
Yeah, me too.
All right, Lee, let's swap over our screen this time as I'm remembering to do that, and you thankfully reminded me. Oh, no, you didn't, did you? No. Class 5A. And Class 5A, a lot of tough games to pick here too, Lee.
Yes, sir, man.
We'll get things started up in Quad 1. Central hosting South Doyle. Central won this game 27-19, the first time these two teams played. What's your thoughts, my friend?
I think Fortner has a big night. And I think Knox Central is tough in the playoffs. They've been there a lot, 3 or 4 times over the last 5 years.
Yeah.
They've made it to the finals.
Yep.
So these kids are no stranger to winning, and playoff time comes around, they pick it up a notch. I like their defense. I'm gonna go Central, and I think Fortner has a pretty good ball game.
Nick Craney, new head coach at Central, was on the Friday main event, as was Clark Duncan. Lee, have you noticed how many of these coaches we're talking about in this quarterfinals that's been on the Friday main event this season?
That's right.
The majority. I guarantee it's the majority of them have been, and we appreciate those guys jumping on with us. These are two guys I really enjoyed having the interviews with. Nick Craney, very young guy. I think he's like 28 years old now, Lee. But what a great job he's done coming in there and leading that Bobcat team, taking over for Coach Rosser, we were very fond of as well. I'm going to go with you. I'm going to go Central. They're at home. But it's going to be close. I think it's going to be closer than the last game. I'm thinking maybe a 3-point game. I think it's going to be very close. What do you think?
I think it's touchdown.
Touchdown. Yeah. West and Oak Ridge, Lee. West is my team to come out of the east side of the state. We had them preseason as the top team over in the east. I haven't seen anything change my mind. 76% of our fan base at Tennessee Sports on Twitter. I like the Rebels to win this game. Joe Gaddis' squad is very good. Coach Gaddis, he was on with us earlier this year. He said probably the best front line he's ever had. Which says a lot. The guy's been coaching football a long time, Lee. Mitchell Givens has had a big year at quarterback. But Isaiah Mattress, flip side, other side of the ball for West, is having a big year at running back.
Yep.
Who you like?
I like Knox West at home. I think Oak Ridge is a little bit more competitive game. First time they met, I think it was 22-7, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, I think it'll be a little bit more competitive game, and the reason I say that is Oak Ridge went down there and put a smack down on Ray County. I did not see that score.
Yeah.
23-0.
Well, I kind of did because remember they lost to Marion County there in week 11, so I don't know that Ray County was as good as we thought they were.
I don't know, but I didn't see that in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's true.
But I like West. I think they got too much talent. We like them coming out. I don't see anybody touching them.
I agree. I like West.
Yep.
I like West a lot. What's everybody else like? Jacket Lover?
West.
Lawn Man? Everybody's West. Nobody going out on a limb here.
Yep. Now here's a tough one, buddy.
This is a tough game to pick right here. Beach and Summit Lee. I think if Keaton Wade was playing, I would like Summit because I thought they were going to be playing when we had Summit as our preseason #1 lead, but I think losing Keaton Wade hurt them a lot. Dustin Wade has really stepped up, as Coach Coleman just said. You know, if they can, they're going to run him, and if you stack the box, he's going to throw over the top. And he's a very accurate passer. But Crabtree, man, it's hard picking against this dude in the postseason.
Mm-hmm.
What's your thoughts?
That Beach.
I'll go ahead and pick first, Lee, because I picked Hillsboro to beat Beach last week, and they just made me look like a fool. It's 36-0. Yeah. My goodness. And of course, Coach Coleman said that was an 8-0 game at halftime. So I don't know what happened, but sorry, Coach Crabtree. I'll pick you guys this week. I learned my lesson.
Yeah, Mike, I know we had Summit preseason #1.
But
that was with both Wade brothers.
Yeah, that was with both Wade brothers.
But I tell you what, man, I like how Coach Crabtree approaches the game. And Coach Coleman's right. He's going to lean on you. He ain't getting out of what he does. Right. They're a power team. They're going to run power. But I like Tashawn Jefferson, man. That kid is legit.
Yeah.
I like Beach at home. I think this is probably 7 to 10 point game.
I like Bronco Hanks. That's a cool name there, Bronco Hanks. Yep. I might name my next grandkid Bronco. Bronco's a cool name.
Dude, that's gonna be a freaking good game.
So you're going Beach?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Beach, but I think that's gonna be a good one.
What about our boy Coach Counts? We had Coach Counts on with us last week. Ryan Dameron and Jamarcus Johnson. Jamarcus Johnson was a Mr. Football semifinalist. Mm-hmm. Having a great year there at Henry County. 58-0 last time leads. Anybody overcomes a 58-point
there ain't
beat
really
down.
A lot to talk about here, buddy. I think Henry County rolls.
Henry County, I'm with you. I ain't gonna spend a lot of time on that one, Lee. Of course, they may wind up shocking me, but I can't see that game getting close. No. All right, Lee, 6A, the big boys. We are right on time, doing good, absolutely perfect on time. How about that? Are y'all impressed? We've stayed on time. Other than the coaches, we got a little bit behind on that. But 6A, the big guys, Maryville and Dobbins Bennett. And Lee, I hate that because I thought McMinn County had a good shot last week.
Man.
And I put that. Did you read that letter? I put it out.
I read it.
And I don't know all the details. It looks on the surface.
The health department messed them up.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah.
But anyways, you like to see this played out on the field.
I would love to have seen that played out on the field.
You know,
especially with Jalen Hunt. You know, the kid is just
phenomenal.
Yeah, Mr. Football finalist. You know, senior. You like to see him get a shot. You know. I mean, I like to see the whole team get a shot, but you know, specifically this kid has pretty much been the backbone of the team all year. And it didn't even get a shot to play it out on the field. I don't like it, man. I don't like it. I am sick of this COVID stuff. Sick of it. These masks, the hell with these masks. I am so sick of them, Lee. But anyway, I'm gonna get on a. Hey, you know we're gonna have to wear them darn things up there in Cookville the whole time.
Yeah.
Media 10 everywhere. We're gonna have to wear them.
Yeah, well, I can't control. I can only control what I can control, buddy.
Yeah.
But I don't like it. But anyways, I'm going Maryville, man. How can you not?
Oh, I got Maryville too.
Dude, they ain't give up but 13 points.
Yeah,
twice this year, more than 13 twice this year.
Yeah, they're for real. They're legit. 35-6 over Bradley last week. Bradley was coming off a high of beating Farragut for the first time in forever. And Maryville just, deflated them, obviously. Yep. And then the Dobyns-Bennett, of course, did not get to play. Right. Oakland is hosting Riverdale, Lee. Battle of the Borough.
Battle of the Borough 2 this year. Mike, I think Oakland's unleashing everybody right now. I think Creasy kind of set back on them all year. I think he's opening that bad boy up. And when you've got 4, 5, 6-headed monsters, it's hard to do anything with. I think this game will be competitive. I like Riverdale's quarterback, obviously, Jameson. I think it's going to be a competitive game, but I think Oakland gets this done.
I think if Riverdale, they got Javon Nelson up front. They got a lot of beef up front. They're a lot bigger than Oakland up front as far as their offensive line on Oakland's defensive line. Riverdale much bigger. Junior running backs Connard and Lloyd having great season. I think if Coach Kreisky can stay with that run, don't get away from it. They got away from it in the second half last time they played. It should have been a 9-7 game, and you saw Creasy say that. It was a Hail Mary to Horton. Mm-hmm. There was no time, basically no time left on the clock. Everybody in the stadium knew they were going to throw it to Horton. They still couldn't stop it. So you got to double Horton. I mean, if you have to, smack him before the ball gets there. Do not let him beat you, okay? But he's got to maintain that run game. He's got to stay with it. You got to stay with it. You got to control the clock against Oakland. You got to keep their defense on the field.
Well, the thing about them, like you said, you got to keep your offense on the field against them.
Yes.
Because they can score in a multitude
in
of ways, and they can score quick.
Yes.
I mean, Patterson or Victor Stevenson, he's going to take one to the house on you 90 yards that quick.
And they've got a wildcat package they run with him at behind center that's very effective.
Yeah, you got to keep them off the field and grind it out. I think if Oakland's defense turns Riverdale over, it's over.
I've got Jordan James' first 3 touchdowns on tape. I'm gonna play that for you guys when we get done with the show. I've got a lot of video from that scrimmage that game last week. I'll play that at the conclusion of the show, especially you Maryville fans. I'm sure you'll want to check that out. Got some Horton highlights. I got some James highlights. And Antonio Patterson is kind of the guy that kind of gets lost in the mix here.
He's the big one. He's a load.
Yeah, he's very effective as well.
Yes, sir.
And then I may pronounce this wrong, Lee. Ian Slachter. Quarterback, kind of unsung, but they look, he's like he reminds me of that kid in that movie. Remember the Titans, the California kid that came, the long hair. He's got long hair. He doesn't really fit the mold, but he's very good at quarterback. He takes care of the ball. He does what he needs to do.
That's exactly right. Takes care of the football, and he's smart with it.
He can get the ball in Horton's hands. And that's really all you need from the quarterback spot because you got a lot of weapons there in the backfield. Just having the threat of a pass mixed in there, he's exactly what the doctor ordered. He's doing a great job there for Oakland. He doesn't get much mention, but he's a very valuable asset to Kevin Creasy's offense.
Yes.
I think Riverdale, if they can get 2 or 3, at least 2 turnovers, and they can control the line of scrimmage, they can win this game. They've got the kids to win this game. I don't think they will win this game. I'm just saying, if it happened, just know that it's a possibility. It could happen.
Riverdale's got to play perfect.
They got to play perfect, and Oakland's got to be off.
Yes, I like Oakland.
I like Oakland too. I'm picking Oakland. I picked Oakland to go. We got them number 1 preseason. So, but I'm just saying, watch out. This game's dangerous, especially if they're looking ahead to Maryville. Because that's been the semifinal match. 4, 5, 6 years in a row now.
Yeah, a long time.
So if they get caught looking ahead to Maryville, Riverdale can get them. Brentwood and Franklin. What's everybody got? Oakland. Everybody got Oakland. Nobody going out on a limb. Brentwood and Franklin. Lee. We talked to Donnie Webb just a few minutes ago. Ron Crawford's squad. Really, I think they really stole one against Independence last week. I think you watched that game also. They had Granzow played on that fourth down, that last play. They had him played, man. He threw that underhanded, looked like a granny shot to the back of the end zone. That was,
Scoop shot.
yeah, it was crazy.
He's a competitor.
He's a competitor, man. He's tough as nails. I know when I watched them play Oakland, Will went over to that game, and Granzow, he's got his arms all scratched up, cut up, and he's grit, man.
He is. He's a tough kid.
He's a tough kid.
Mike, I had Brentwood. I liked him all year.
Yeah.
Coming out of the West, we thought, they were going to be a heavy hitter, a contender.
Yep.
I like Brentwood in the game simply because of what you just said. Granzow, John House, Luke Walters, and Walker Merrill.
And if he gets to play, he got hurt again.
He's tweaked.
Yeah.
John House is a real deal too on defense. He's a Vandy commit, I think. But Blevins is playing lights out lately. I like Brentwood in this game, but I think it's going to be a pretty good game, Mike. I think it's going to be close.
Yeah, I was really repass the receiver.
Yeah, that's right.
For Franklin, and like you mentioned, Connor Blevins, he's playing really well. And then anytime you got a front line with Ansler and Anderson, Crowder, all those guys, you can't count them out. I mean, that win over Raven was huge, and I think this game will be much closer. You're not going to see a 42-20 game like the first meeting.
No, I'm thinking 28-20 type.
Yeah, I can see that, Lee. Maybe even more offense because Franklin's offense is playing so well. Maybe a little bit higher than that, but I think it's going to be a similar type game. So I'm gonna go Brentwood with you, but I think it's going to be close.
Right.
Turnover here and there, who knows? Bartlett hosting Collierville. Lee, Bartlett beat Collierville 34-28. Now Collierville's got some athletes, man. They had a couple of kids ranked. I think Ethan Hasler, Scotty Alexander, both of those kids were ranked in 247. So Coach Ricconi's got some athletes there at Collierville. But Bartlett, again, a 6-point win, and they are home. What's your thoughts?
I don't know on this game, Mike. I'm going to go Bartlett at home. I don't really have a good feel for this.
Yeah, I don't
either. It was
either.
a close one last time, and sometimes it's hard to win 2 in a row against a team.
Yeah.
I ain't got a warm and fuzzy on this game, but I think Bartlett. I'm going to go Bartlett because it's at home.
Just for S and giggles, I'll go Collierville. I don't really have a good feel for this one either. Just to be controversial. Because I don't think the winner of this game's got a shot at the quad 3 winner. Do you?
I don't know. I never say never, but I like Brentwood right now. That's what I had coming out of that quad anyway.
Yeah, I like Brentwood and Oakland to be in Cookville. All right, Mr. Teat, I believe that's gonna do it for the Friday main event. This is gonna do it for the season, guys. We appreciate you guys hanging with us all year. Of course, we will have our state championship recap. We'll do that, Lee, Sunday at 2 p.m. When we get back from Cookville. I'll interview all the coaches, every class. We'll have all the coaches on the show, and we're going to try to get more kids. We did some kids last year, post-game interviews with the players. I want to try to get more of those this year. I really enjoyed that last year, and it seemed to be a popular ingredient on the show last year. So we'll try to do a little bit more of that at the state championships there in Cookville. So, again, wish you guys all a happy Thanksgiving.
That's right. Merry Christmas if we don't get to talk to you about that too. But happy Thanksgiving. Have a good holidays. One thing that's been kind of on my mind, looking forward, looking ahead. Obviously I got a kid in high school getting ready to go to the varsity level, but one thing I'm looking forward to, man, is getting over this COVID and getting back to kind of a normal.
Amen.
I hope 2021 we can get back to some normalcy for the coaches, staffs, for the kids' sakes, it's been rough. Like, we like to go to games sometimes and hang.
Yeah.
it's been made it really hard with limited capacities. Nobody's turned us away or anything, but it's made it tougher. Hopefully, man, we can get back to some normalcy pretty soon.
I can't even get as excited about Cook as I normally am, Lee,
No.
knowing that, we're going to have to deal with this crap there, too. I thought when, well, I better not get political. Don't get political.
But
I thought when the election was over, this stuff would ease up a little.
it's not. It's going to get worse, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But
Appreciate.
Be safe. Tell you guys to be safe out there. It's not a joke, but I'm ready for it to be over, man.
Yeah, me
Just
too.
ready for it.
Appreciate Coach T, Jim Thompson at CoachT.com, hanging with us again this year and being our main sponsor. He's got a link up every week for us, Lee, and we'd appreciate you guys. You might follow the show, going ahead and getting that Coach T Plus membership. It is donation based. You can pledge anywhere from $5 up to $50, whatever you feel the website's worth to you. Honestly, it's worth quite a bit to me. So I made a donation and became a Plus member. And if you hadn't done it, I hope you guys will do that. He's retirement age, and he could use all the help he could get. He fixes a lot of good food, Lee, so he needs to help pay for that, don't he?
It's a good resource, man.
It is. It's a great resource. And it's not just football, Lee. It's baseball,
Everything.
basketball, high school sport, golf, bowling. They got it all on there, and it's a real beneficial website. And I know most of you guys we met through Coach T, so show your appreciation and get on that Coach T Plus membership. Elaborate Images, Marsha Howard, and I'm sorry, Jackie Lover, I'll get on her again. I don't know why we don't have, but if you'll send her a link and tell her what you want, or send her an email and tell her what you want, I'm sure she can hook you up. I don't know why the store hadn't been set up yet, but I haven't. My fault. I hadn't said anything else to her about it, but we'll try to get that done. Lee, appreciate you, my friend.
Yes, sir.
It's been a good season, and appreciate you guys. I'll end here, and I'll play, like I said, those Jordan James TDs and a little bit more of that game with Oakland if you guys want to watch that. But that's going to do it, Lee.
Man, I appreciate all you do, Mike. I just show up and talk, man. I don't know if a lot of these guys realize what you do in the background, talking to coaches on the side and putting all this stuff together every week. I appreciate that from a personal standpoint.
Well, I enjoy it, Lee. It's a labor of love. I like it. All right, Lee. He is Lee Teat. I am Mike Molder. This is the Friday main event. You guys hang in here, watch a little of the scrimmage video if you like, or game video if you like, and we'll see you guys next week. Lee, 6 o'clock? No, we're off.
We're off.
We're off Thanksgiving. See you guys the Sunday after. Stay tuned to our Facebook and our website. And we'll have information on there. Appreciate you guys.
Stop made by Christian Donatelli. Gain of 1, second down 9. But that is another Toyota of Murfreesboro first down. Touchdown, Patriots. George James. Cohen Baggett, the ball carrier. Gains on the stop. Loss of 2, second down 12. Ball carrier. Stop made by Gaines and McLaurin. Brings up third down 7. Ball carrier. Drell Franklin on the stop.